Davi-tech-media. Subscribe to Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media. Subscribe to Davi-tech-media.
I just wanted to give you the final thought on this. This is part 2 of the podcast broadcast that I was doing earlier on the issue of phone booths. And I wanted to take advantage of the good internet connection that we have right now. It may not last very long. Therefore, I'm just going to jump straight into it. I know the issue of phone booths is very thorny. There really is one solution to the phone booths, and I'm going to tell it to you now. Of course, this is not a popular view, but it has a semblance of order, and it has a linear sort of solution. And it's this: you must understand that quotas is the only solution to phone booths. A quota is a limit. For instance, if you say a road that is 2 kilometers long, that road should only have a specific number of booths. For instance, here on Simon Mwewa Lane, our proposal has been only place 5 or 6 booths that run the entire length of Simon Mwewa Lane. And they must be placed strategically. They cannot be placed haphazardly. They cannot be installed at the whim and the desire of a kada. They must be placed with the authority and with the guidance of the local authority. Lusaka City Council needs to come and say, the booth can only sit here. It cannot obstruct traffic. It cannot obstruct the flow of pedestrian traffic. It cannot obstruct the entrance of a building. It can't do any of that. Once the local authority, after you've fulfilled all of the statutory obligations, you've paid your fee at Lusaka City Council, you've gotten your license from the service provider, whether it's Airtel, MTN, Zamtel, whoever. Once you do all of those preliminaries, and then you go to Lusaka City Council to pay your fee to the council, council has to take a leading role. Council has to take you physically and say, this is the spot that you can operate from. And then you pay a stipend to the council. You pay an additional fee to Lusaka City Council per month. Now, right now, this is not working properly. It's not working in the manner in which it should. I have to pause here for a moment just to make sure that the internet connection is clear. Right now, the current arrangement with booths is not working. As I was pointing out earlier, during the PF, only PF cadres were allowed to touch the booths, the money from the booths. They used to make more than 5,000 kwacha per booth to install it, and then a subsequent amount of 250 kwacha every month that you had to pay to the cadres. Council had no say in the revenue from the booths. It's only now under the UPND that council even has the privilege of partaking in the revenue from the booths. But notwithstanding, cadres still get money from the booths. You must know that. Of course, they want to make you believe that there are no cadres in town and that the cadres are not involved. They are. I've seen them. I know them. I see what they do. The cadres get money from the booths. The cadres still get money from street vendors. This is the reason cadres don't want street vending to end, because they know that this is a source of revenue. It's a source of income for them. If the vendors leave the street, if the booths leave the street, the cadres have no access to money. That's public money. Money that should be channeled in the right way. Money that should be channeled in the markets. If the booths are to operate, you should have, the council should have quotas Each street has to have a specific number of booths. Number one. Number two, the service providers, and listen to me, Zamtel, listen to me, Airtel, listen to me, MTN. You cannot allow the current situation to continue. Right now, when your agents, when you give your agents the license or the permission to trade on your behalf, do you know what these young men and young women are doing? They're going into the compounds and they're having some guy weld a makeshift shack that they come and they place in the middle of town. And then they paint it red, or they paint it yellow, or they paint it green. Any shape, as long as it's made of metal. This is what's happening. And it is contributing to the unsightly nature of our city. The service providers have to provide a standard issued booth. Are you hearing that? I need to let that sink in for a moment. I'm going to say that again. The service providers, MTN, Zamtel, Airtel, all of you have to provide a standard booth. In other words, you have to tell your traders, once we give you the license, you have to get this booth. You can't go out in the world and make your own booth, create your own booth in your own way with your own specs, and then place it in the middle of town. That has to be removed. That has to be stopped. And the only way to do that is for the service providers to be involved. You guys, Zamtel, Airtel, MTN, your hands-off approach is the reason we are in the mess that we're in now. Are you hearing me? Your hands-off approach is the reason we are in the mess that we're in today. You need to be involved. You need to be part of the action. You need to give up a piece of the action, meaning you have to invest in coming up with a standard style, neat booth that you guys create, that you pay for, and that your agent also has to pay for. But they must get those booths from you. No one else. They can't go kukomboni. Ashokerera ma chiteni ma booth. Ashokerera. Aenda kumunyaure kuja ashokerera kubanda masauko. Aenda shokerera booth. And then abweresa booth yo mutauni yo. That's nonsense. That should be stopped. And in any case, guys, in the next 3 or 4 years, booths are going to be a thing of the past. Are you hearing that? They're going to be a thing of the past. In about 3 or 4 years, there'll be no need for booths. Why? Because everything will be done on your phone. All right. I got to go before my internet connection drops and then my picture becomes blurry. Thanks for listening, guys. God bless you. Lusaka City Council, you've got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Clear the town of the booths. Clear them. You go to Stanley Bar. There's a building next to Stanley Bar there. It is surrounded by arbitrary booths. Booths now are being used by these young boys on the street kids that they call them zombies now, or Colombia. The other name for them is junk. They call them junks. Not junkies, junks, that's what they call them. Those young men and young boys, they use those booths. They defecate behind those booths. They urinate behind those booths. Booths are used for it would be shocking to you what they're doing with the booths. Booths are being used as little sex booths now. You can rent booths at night and go in there and have sex with anybody. You pay the little street boys and the guys that hang out there. Booths are a nuisance to the CBD. And as long as Lusaka City Council continues to have a hands-off approach, we will always have this mess. Lusaka City Council has to be involved from beginning to end. Are you hearing that? All right.
Subscribe to Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media. Subscribe to Davi-tech-media.